was cold, the rain kept falling. I lost my way, I heard no calling. My heart was weak, my soul afraid. I cried to heaven in the pouring rain. I searched for light beyond the sorrow, not knowing if I'd see tomorrow. Then through the silence I could hear a gentle voice whispering near. When mountains rise and oceans roar, your love remains forevermore. I still believe when tears are falling. I still believe your grace is calling. You are my shelter, you are my peace. Jesus, you're the reason my heart still sings. I still believe though storms surround me. I still believe your hands have found me. You never leave, you never deceive. Jesus forever. I still believe. I've walked alone through endless valleys, broken dreams and empty alleys. Yet every scar upon my soul became a story you made whole. The cross still shines above the darkness. Your mercy carries all my weakness. And every breath inside of me will praise your holy majesty. When hope feels gone and faith grows weak, forever. I still believe.
I drove past the old bridge tonight, where we used to sit beneath the summer sky. The river was quiet, the moon was high, but I could still hear your laughter in the night. The coffee shop closed years ago, and the records we loved no longer play. But memories have their own way of bringing yesterday back today. Funny how the years can disappear, but one old song can make you feel like nothing ever changed at all. When the stars remember us and the moon still calls your name, I can feel your hand beside me like you're here once again. Though the seasons came and went and the world became a different place, somewhere beyond forever, love still leaves a trace. That old guitar still hangs on the wall. It hasn't been touched since the fall, but every string still knows your voice, and every silence remembers your choice. I found your letter in a dusty drawer, the one you wrote in '94. The ink had faded through the years, but somehow it still brought tears. Maybe heaven isn't far away, maybe it's found in yesterday, in the songs we sang, in the dreams we made, in the promises that never fade. When the stars remember us and the night becomes a friend, I know this road we're traveling doesn't truly end. And if someday I cross that river beyond the setting sun, save a place beside your heart until my journey's done. The lights grow dim, the river keeps flowing, and somewhere beneath the stars, you're still singing with me. I was driving down Highway 61 tonight, with the windows open and the dashboard lights. The rain was falling like it used to do on those summer nights I spent with you. Then an old song came through the radio, one we danced 2 years ago. And for a moment time stood still, like the world remembered how we used to feel. Funny how a melody can bring you home to the dreams you thought were gone. And even after all these years, some memories still live on. When the radio played our song, I could almost hear you sing along. I saw you smile in the midnight sky and felt your hand right here in mine. Though life moved on and seasons changed, some things remain the same. And every time that music starts, I find you living in my heart. The old bridge still crosses Miller Creek, and the river still whispers when I can't sleep. Your photograph rests beside my bed, and your words still echo inside my head. There's an empty chair on the porch tonight, and I still leave on that little light. Maybe love was never meant to end. Maybe heaven only bends, because true love doesn't disappear. It becomes the songs we hear, the moon above and the autumn rain keep calling out your name. When the radio played our song, I remembered where I belong. Not in sorrow, not in pain, but in the love we couldn't explain. And though I walk this road alone, your memory guides me home like moonlight shining through the dark. You'll forever be my favorite part. And if someday beyond the stars God lets broken hearts restart, save a dance beneath the light, we'll finish what we left behind. We'll laugh again like younger days and sing the songs that never fade. Until then, I'll keep holding on. Every time I hear our song. When the radio played our song, I knew you were never really gone, because a love like ours can never die. It only lives beyond the sky. And when my journey reaches the end, I'll see your smile once again. Until that day, my heart will stay where the music still remembers your name. The rain keeps falling, the river keeps flowing, and somewhere beyond forever, you're still singing with me. I remember that cold December evening when the world felt darker than before. Every prayer became a whispered question as I sat alone upon the floor. I had nothing left to hold on to. Every dream had slipped right through my hands. I was drowning in the weight of sorrow, trying hard to understand. And through the silence, through the brokenness inside, I felt your presence standing by my side. Jesus, you found me there in the middle of my despair, when my faith was weak and my heart was torn. You carried me through the storm. Jesus, you heard my cry, even when I asked you why. Now I know your love was always there. Jesus, you found me there. There were nights I couldn't stop the crying. There were days I couldn't see the light. Every road ahead looked full of shadows. Every step became another fight. But you never turned away from me. Not a single moment was I lost. Even when I couldn't feel your presence, you were standing at the cross, looking over every wound I tried so hard to hide, holding every shattered piece I buried deep inside. Jesus, you found me there in the middle of my despair, when my faith was weak and my heart was torn. You carried me through the storm. Jesus, you heard my cry, even when I asked you why. Now I know your love was always there. Jesus, you found me there.
Jesus, you found me there. Jesus, you found me there. And I'll never walk alone again.
The room was quiet, but my heart was breaking. Another night with tears I couldn't hide. The weight of all my failures kept me sinking, and I was running out of strength inside. I stared at heaven through the darkness, wondering if you still heard my prayer. I felt forgotten by the world around me, but then I felt your presence there. Not in the thunder, not in the rain, but in a gentle whisper, you called my name. When Jesus whispered my name, everything changed. The fear that held me captive could not remain. The shadows lost their power, the chains began to fall. When Jesus whispered my name, He healed it all. I remember every broken promise, every scar I tried so hard to hide, every road that led me into sorrow, every battle I could not survive. But you were walking through the ashes, you were standing in the fire with me. And even when my eyes could not see clearly, your mercy never stopped reaching me. You knew the story before it began, and still you chose to hold my hand. When Jesus whispered my name, everything changed. The fear that held me captive could not remain. The shadows lost their power, the chains began to fall. When Jesus whispered
my life was changed.
Jesus,
You whispered my name,
Jesus,
and nothing stayed the same. I was driving home last Friday evening, with the windows halfway down. The city lights were softly fading as another sunset touched the ground. Then out of nowhere came a melody, a voice I hadn't heard for years. And suddenly the road before me disappeared behind my tears. Funny how a simple song can bring 1,000 memories back to life. When the radio plays our song, I still sing every word, like those summer nights when forever seemed so sure. Though life took us different ways and time moved us along, for 3 beautiful minutes you're still here. When the radio plays our song, I remember dancing in the kitchen, laughing over nothing at all. The photographs above the fireplace still hang there on the wall. People say we should forget and leave yesterday behind, but some loves become a part of us and stay for all our lives. Not every goodbye means losing. Not every memory means pain. When the radio plays our song, I still hear your gentle voice, and somehow for a moment my old heart rejoices. Though the years have changed my face and silver fills my hair, love still finds me every time that melody is there. If I had one more evening, I'd spend it just like then, holding your hand beside me, watching the world slow down again. But even though you're gone, I thank heaven above for giving me a lifetime wrapped inside your love. When the radio plays our song, I smile instead of cry, because beauty my love, until we hear it again.
Pasamos la vida contando los días, persiguiendo horizontes sin descansar, llenando las manos de cosas pequeñas, olvidando lo que de verdad es amar. Construimos castillos de arena que el tiempo termina por llevar. Un día entendemos en silencio que nada material puede quedar, porque al final del camino, cuando la noche vuelva a llegar, no serán los triunfos ni el oro los que nos harán recordar. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, las manos que ayudamos a levantar, las lágrimas que supimos secar, los abrazos que aprendimos a dar. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, la luz que encendimos al pasar, porque una vida vale por siempre cuando aprende a iluminar. He visto hombres llenos de riquezas caminar con el alma vacía, y he visto corazones sencillos cambiar el mundo con una sonrisa. Hay palabras que salvan inviernos, hay gestos que curan el dolor, y existen personas que sin saberlo se convierten en refugio y calor. Quizás no podamos detener el tiempo ni evitar que todo llegue a cambiar, pero sí podemos elegir cada día qué huella queremos dejar. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, las manos que ayudamos a levantar, las lágrimas que supimos secar, los abrazos que aprendimos a dar. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, la luz que encendimos al pasar, porque una vida vale por siempre cuando aprende a iluminar. Y cuando llegue el último silencio, cuando la historia llegue a su final, no preguntes cuánto has ganado, pregunta cuánto pudiste amar. Porque los nombres desaparecen, las fotografías perderán color, pero los actos nacidos del alma seguirán latiendo en otro corazón. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, el eco que nunca morirá, las semillas que sembramos un día volverán convertidas en paz. Será el amor que dejamos atrás, la verdadera eternidad, porque nadie se va para siempre si vive en la memoria de alguien más. Y cuando mi voz se pierda en el viento, que mi amor siga cantando por mí. noche hablé con el silencio, sentado al borde de la oscuridad. Le pregunté dónde se esconden los sueños que no volverán. Me respondió con voz de viento, cruzando campos de eternidad. Todo aquello que fue amado jamás se puede marchar. Y vi mis años desfilar despacio, como hojas sobre el mar. Cada recuerdo era una llama, negándose a naufragar. Tal vez la vida sea un instante, un suspiro frente a la inmensidad. Pero hay corazones que dejan huellas que ni el tiempo puede borrar. Después de la última estrella, cuando la noche diga adiós, seguirán ardiendo los nombres que aprendimos a guardar en el corazón. Después de la última estrella, cuando termine esta canción, descubrirás que el amor verdadero es más fuerte que el olvido y el dolor. He visto ciudades dormidas, he visto inviernos pasar, he visto promesas perdidas buscando un lugar donde descansar. Pero nunca vi una despedida capaz de vencer la verdad, que las almas que se encuentran nunca se dejan de encontrar. Y aunque mis manos tiemblen ahora y mis pasos vayan más despacio, llevo universos enteros viviendo dentro de mis brazos, porque aquello que compartimos no conoce final. El amor cambia de forma, pero nunca deja de respirar. Después de la última estrella, cuando la noche diga adiós, seguirán ardiendo los nombres que aprendimos a guardar en el corazón. Después de la última estrella, cuando termine esta canción, descubrirás que el amor verdadero es más fuerte que el olvido y el dolor. Y si algún día el mundo calla y el cielo deja de brillar, escucha dentro de tu pecho, allí me volverás a encontrar. Porque somos más que el tiempo, más que la distancia y el final. Somos todas las historias que aprendimos a amar. Después de la última estrella, cuando desaparezca el temor, serán los abrazos que dimos los que iluminen la eternidad. Después de la última estrella, cuando todo parezca acabar, nacerá una nueva esperanza en cada corazón dispuesto a recordar. Porque ninguna luz se pierde mientras exista alguien para mirar el cielo. La lluvia golpea el viejo cristal, como si quisiera volver atrás. Sobre la mesa quedan cartas con palabras que no se atrevieron a volar. El reloj sigue marcando horas, pero el tiempo ya no pasa igual. Desde que cerraste aquella puerta, mi casa aprendió a llorar. Y aunque la ciudad cambió de nombre y las calles olvidaron tu voz, hay recuerdos que siguen despiertos cuando se esconde el sol. Las cartas que nunca envié siguen hablando de ti, guardan promesas de ayer que el viento no quiso partir. Las cartas que nunca envié viven debajo de mi piel y cada noche vuelven a leer la historia que no pudo ser. El café se enfría en silencio, como las palabras entre los dos. Hay fotografías cansadas que todavía conservan tu olor. La estación ya no recibe los trenes que solíamos mirar, pero en mis sueños todavía llegas, como si nada hubiera cambiado. Y aunque los años fueron dejando sus huellas sobre mi corazón, hay una parte que sigue esperando escuchar tu canción. Las cartas que nunca envié siguen hablando de ti, guardan promesas de ayer que el viento no quiso partir. Las cartas que nunca envié viven debajo de mi piel y cada noche vuelven a leer la historia que no pudo ser. Quizás algún día el destino las encuentre en algún rincón y descubra que un hombre viejo nunca dejó de amar. Quizás las hojas amarillas cuenten lo que yo callé, que un amor tan profundo que jamás olvidaré. Las cartas que nunca envié siguen hablando de ti, aunque el invierno llegó después, siguen floreciendo aquí. Las cartas que nunca envié son mi última verdad, y mientras respire este corazón te volverán a nombrar. La lluvia golpea el viejo cristal y yo vuelvo a escribir tu nombre una vez más. Volví después de tantos años, cuando los árboles ya eran más altos. La pintura caía de las paredes como recuerdos soltándose despacio. La puerta hizo el mismo ruido, como si aún me estuviera esperando, y por un instante juré escuchar tu risa corriendo por el patio. Había polvo sobre los muebles, pero no sobre la memoria, porque algunas casas se envejecen y otras se convierten en historia. Caminé por habitaciones vacías, como quien busca una canción perdida, y entendí que no extrañaba aquel lugar, extrañaba la vida que vivía. La casa donde se quedó el verano todavía guarda nuestra voz. Entre las sombras de los años sigue latiendo aquel amor. La casa donde se quedó el verano, donde el tiempo olvidó avanzar. Y aunque todo cambió por fuera, hay cosas que nunca se irán. Encontré una fotografía rota entre las páginas de un viejo cuaderno. Tu sonrisa seguía intacta, como una ventana abierta al tiempo. Afuera el cielo se hacía naranja, igual que en aquellos atardeceres, cuando creíamos que la felicidad era algo que duraría para siempre. Y comprendí algo demasiado tarde: nadie vuelve realmente al pasado, solo visita los lugares donde dejó una parte de sí mismo. La casa donde se quedó el verano todavía guarda nuestra voz. Entre las sombras de los años sigue latiendo aquel amor. La casa donde se quedó el verano, donde el tiempo olvidó avanzar. Y aunque todo cambió por fuera, hay cosas que nunca se irán. La noche cayó sobre el jardín, las luciérnagas parecían estrellas que habían olvidado regresar al cielo. Y allí entendí que no estaba llorando por ti, estaba llorando por nosotros, por las personas que fuimos, por los sueños que nunca supieron que estaban viviendo sus últimos días. La casa donde se quedó el verano sigue encendida dentro de mí, aunque la vida me lleve lejos, siempre sabrá dónde volver. La casa donde se quedó el verano vive detrás de cada canción, porque hay lugares que desaparecen, pero jamás desaparece el corazón. Cuando me fui, cerré la puerta lentamente, pero el verano se quedó viviendo allí. Vi un niño corriendo descalzo por las calles de su imaginación. Construía castillos con nubes, dibujaba alas sobre el sol. Creía que el mundo era inmenso, que ningún sueño era demasiado grande, y guardaba universos enteros dentro de un bolsillo de su pantalón. Pero llegaron los años, llegaron las prisas, las cuentas, las despedidas, y un día dejó de mirar las estrellas sin darse cuenta
se convirtió en alguien que siempre estaba ocupado. Y hay un niño que aún me espera al otro lado del tiempo, sentado sobre una bicicleta vieja, preguntando dónde fueron nuestros sueños. Hay un niño que aún me espera, sin rencor y sin reproche. Mientras yo aprendía a sobrevivir, él seguía aprendiendo a creer. Aprendí a responder correos, a llegar temprano al trabajo, a esconder el cansancio detrás de una sonrisa automática. Aprendí a ser fuerte, a ser útil, a ser responsable. Pero olvidé cómo se sentía correr bajo la lluvia sin motivo. Olvidé los libros que quería escribir, las canciones que quería cantar, los lugares que juré conocer antes de que el miedo aprendiera mi nombre. Y algunas noches, cuando la ciudad se queda dormida, lo escucho llamarme. Hay un niño que aún me espera junto al árbol donde todo empezó, guardando las preguntas que perdí cuando la vida me cambió la voz. Hay un niño que aún me espera, mirando el cielo del atardecer, recordándome que estar vivo es mucho más que solo crecer. Tal vez madurar nunca fue abandonar lo que fuimos, tal vez era llevarlo con nosotros, proteger aquella chispa, aquella locura hermosa que nos hacía creer que todo era posible. Porque el mundo necesita adultos, pero el alma necesita sueños.
Y hoy quiero volver a encontrarme con el niño que dejé atrás, decirle que aún recuerdo todo lo que me enseñó a amar.
Quiero sentarme junto a él, mirar las nubes pasar y prometerle que esta vez no voy a olvidarlo jamás. Porque al final de todos los caminos, después de cada decepción, la parte más valiente de nosotros siempre fue aquel corazón.
Si escuchas con atención,
hay alguien dentro de ti,
no está perdido,
solo está esperando
que vuelvas a casa.
descalzo por las calles de su imaginación. Construía castillos con nubes, dibujaba alas sobre el sol. Creía que el mundo era inmenso, que ningún sueño era demasiado grande. Y guardaba universos enteros dentro de un bolsillo de su pantalón. Pero llegaron los años, llegaron las prisas, las cuentas, las despedidas, y un día dejó de mirar las estrellas. Sin darse cuenta, se convirtió en alguien que siempre estaba ocupado. Y hay un niño que aún me espera al otro lado del tiempo, sentado sobre una bicicleta vieja, preguntando dónde fueron nuestros sueños. Hay un niño que aún me espera, sin rencor y sin reproche. Mientras yo aprendía a sobrevivir, él seguía aprendiendo a creer. Aprendí a responder correos, a llegar temprano al trabajo, a esconder el cansancio detrás de una sonrisa automática. Aprendí a ser fuerte, a ser útil, a ser responsable. Pero olvidé cómo se sentía correr bajo la lluvia sin motivo. Olvidé los libros que quería escribir, las canciones, las despedidas. Y un día dejó de mirar las estrellas. Sin darse cuenta, se convirtió en alguien.
The bicycle is still there, leaning by the fence. Every morning I see it through the kitchen window, covered in dust and years gone by. The blue paint is fading, the tires are flat now, but I still remember the day you learned to ride. You fell 3 times and cried the 4th, then got back up without a word. I was never prouder than I was that afternoon. Funny how life can hide inside a single object, waiting for someone to look closely enough. And the bicycle by the fence still carries your laughter. Every scratch upon the frame tells a story of yesterday. The seasons came, the seasons went, but some memories never leave. Every time I see that bicycle, I see you at 13. Now the town feels smaller than it used to. Most of the neighbors have moved away. The baseball field has become a parking lot, and the old diner closed last spring. But that bicycle remains like a promise the years couldn't break. Sometimes I wonder if you remember it too, or if those days only live inside me now. And the bicycle by the fence still carries your laughter. Every scratch upon the frame tells a story of yesterday. The seasons came, the seasons went, but some memories never leave. Every time I see that bicycle, I see you
13. Last week, your daughter came to visit. She stood beside it and smiled. She has your eyes, the same curious eyes that once looked at me and asked, Dad, do you think I'll ever be brave? I wish you could have heard yourself answer through her. Like a photograph, refusing to fade. One day the wood will fall apart, the paint will disappear, the wheels will stop forever. But the little boy who learned to ride will never leave this yard. He'll always be here, somewhere between memory and love. The sun goes down, the shadows grow long, and the bicycle waits quietly by the fence.
The station looks smaller now than it did back then. The ticket window's closed, the paint is peeling from the walls, the old clock still hangs above, though it stopped years ago. I walk these tracks today just to see what remained of the place where you smiled and stepped onto that train. I remember your suitcase, the blue one with the broken handle, and the way you look back one last time. Funny how a single moment can outlive an entire lifetime. This is the platform where you left, and somehow never left at all. Every train that passes through still carries echoes of your voice. I hear your laughter in the whistle of the wind, and every sunset paints your shadow across these empty rails again. The cafe by the station is a bookstore now. The waitress who knew our names retired years ago. Children run through the waiting room where we once sat for hours, dreaming of futures that disappeared into time. But memory is stubborn,
it refuses to grow. Some departures never really end. This is the platform where you left, and somehow never left at all. Every train that passes through still carries echoes of your voice. I hear your laughter in the whistle of the wind, and every sunset paints your shadow across these empty rails again. Maybe somewhere beyond these tracks, beyond these years, you're waiting too. Maybe every goodbye is only half the story, and every ending leads us home. That September afternoon, when the world was young and love was enough. The evening train departs, the station grows quiet, and somewhere in the distance I still see walking away.
I found it again tonight, at the bottom of my coat pocket, the same old key. After all these years, it's cold against my fingers, worn smooth by passing time. Metal lost its silver shine, but somehow it still survives. It used to fit the front door of a little house on Willow Street, where summer stayed forever, and every room knew our names back when life was measured in Sunday mornings and coffee on the porch instead of years. Funny how we keep some things long after they stop belonging anywhere. And I still carry the key to a door that isn't there, to a house that's now a memory floating somewhere in the air. The walls are gone, the windows find my way back home. The city built a highway where that old street used to be. The maple tree was cut down, the mailbox disappeared. Even the neighbors moved away, one by one like falling leaves. Yet somehow in my pocket a small piece of yesterday remains, waiting quietly to be remembered. Maybe memory isn't about holding on, maybe it's about honoring what mattered. And I still carry the key to a door that isn't there, to a house that's now a memory floating somewhere in the air. The walls are gone, the windows gone, the garden turned to stone. But every time I hold this key, I find my way back home. If I could open one last door, it wouldn't lead to a room or a street or a town. It would lead to a summer evening where my parents are laughing, the radio is playing softly, and nobody knows how quickly life can change. And I still carry the key, though the lock is long gone, though the years keep moving faster and the nights grow longer on. Because some doors never close, they simply live inside your heart. And every memory they shelter becomes a little light against the dark. The key returns to my pocket, the night settles in, and somewhere beyond memory, the door opens once again. Tonight, the rain found me again, just like it always does. I walk down the old avenue beneath the yellow city lights. The bakery on the corner closed, but the smell still lives tonight. The movie theater disappeared, the bookstore changed its name. Yet every stone along this road remembers why I came. 40 years have passed like pages in the wind, but some places never stop calling us back again. Funny how the rain remembers faces time forgets. This is the street where the rain still knows my name,
where every drop keeps falling like it never learned to change. The city grew older, and so did I. But every time these clouds arrive, you're walking by my side on the street, where the rain still knows my name. The cafe where we used to sit is now a clothing store. The little bell above the door doesn't ring anymore. But sometimes through the evening noise, I hear your laughter rise, like a photograph returning to life before my eyes. I stop beneath the traffic light where you once kissed me goodbye, and for a second time forgets to move. Some memories don't fade away, they simply learn to hide. This is the street where the rain still knows my name, where every drop keeps falling like it never learned to change. The city grew older, and so did I. But every time these clouds arrive, you're walking by my side on the street, where the rain still knows my name. Maybe that's the secret nobody ever tells. We don't lose the people we love, we carry them into every season, into every sunset, into every quiet night, when the world slows down enough for the heart to speak. Somewhere in the falling rain, our song is still a song. And when my final evening comes and the city fades from view, I'll follow those familiar drops until they lead me back to you. The rain keeps falling, lights grow dim, and somewhere the street remembers everything. Every town has a place where memories stay open late. This was ours. There's an old diner on Highway
still standing against the years. The neon sign flickers blue at night, like a dream refusing to disappear. We used to sit by the window, watching headlights pass like stars, talking about forever, as if forever wasn't far. The waitress knew our names, the jukebox knew our song. Back then the world felt endless. Back then we thought we were strong. Funny how life keeps moving, even when a heart stays behind. When the lights of the diner go out and the last chair is turned upside down, I still see you across that table, smiling while the rain comes down. The coffee grows cold, the years grow old, but some things never leave somehow. Every night inside my memory, the diner lights are still on now. The road outside is quieter, most of the old stores are gone. The gas station became a parking lot, the radio plays different songs. But sometimes through the midnight air, I swear I hear you laugh, floating like a photograph across the darkness of the past. And for a moment, time forgets to run. Maybe love doesn't disappear, maybe it changes its address. When the lights of the diner go out and the last chair is turned upside down, I still see you across that table, smiling while the rain comes down. The coffee grows cold, the years grow old, but some things never leave somehow. Every night inside my memory, the diner lights are still on now. If heaven exists, I don't imagine golden gates. I imagine a booth by the window, a cup of coffee, a rainy evening, and one more conversation we never got to finish.
are still on now. The sign flickers once, the rain keeps falling, and somewhere our table is still waiting.
Corrí detrás de sueños imposibles, persiguiendo luces sobre el mar. Llené mis manos de victorias, pero mi alma seguía igual. Compré relojes para detener el tiempo, levanté muros para no sentir dolor, y una mañana frente al espejo no reconocí quién era yo. Porque la vida no pregunta, simplemente pasa, y el corazón aprende tarde lo que realmente importa. Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y no quede nadie alrededor, ¿quién sostendrá mis recuerdos? ¿Quién pronunciará mi voz? Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y la noche abrace mi canción, entenderé que la riqueza siempre fue el amor. Vi partir amigos con el viento, sin promesas de regresar. Algunos viven en fotografías, otros en mi forma de mirar. Las calles cambian cada invierno, los nombres se borran al pasar, pero hay abrazos que permanecen cuando todo lo demás se va. Y comprendí demasiado tarde lo que intentaba esconder, que nadie vence a la tristeza sin alguien a quien querer. Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y no quede nadie alrededor, ¿quién sostendrá mis recuerdos? ¿Quién pronunciará mi voz? Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y la noche abrace mi canción, entenderé que la riqueza siempre fue el amor. Si mañana termina mi camino, no lloren por lo que perdí. Celebren cada instante vivido, cada persona que hizo latir mi existir. Porque al final de todos los caminos, más allá del tiempo y del dolor, solo permanece aquello que construimos con el corazón. Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y las estrellas hablen por mí, serán los ojos que amé en la vida los que me mantendrán aquí. Cuando el mundo se quede en silencio y desaparezca el temor, descubriré que nunca estuve solo, porque me acompañó el amor. Y cuando la última luz se apague, que mi nombre viva en algún corazón. The porch light is still on tonight.
chair still waits beside the door. The paint is peeling now, just a little more every year. Your room is untouched, like you left it yesterday, even though it's been almost 15 years. The neighbors ask about you every now and then. I smile and tell them you're doing well, and I hope that's true. I know life can take us far away, but a father's heart never learns to let go. So I leave the light on the porch every single night, just in case you decide to come home. The world may have changed, the years may have flown, but there's always a place where you'll never be alone. No matter how far your road is gone, this old house remembers you're still my son. I found your baseball glove out in the old garage. The leather is worn, but I couldn't throw it away. Some memories become part of your soul, and some names never stop echoing through empty halls. Sometimes I imagine I hear your truck outside, then silence reminds me it's only the wind. So I leave the light on the porch every single night, just in case you decide to come home. The world may have changed, the years may have flown, but there's always a place where you'll never be alone. No matter how far your road is gone, this old house remembers you're still my son. Maybe you've got children now, maybe they look a little like me. Maybe someday you'll understand how love can wait forever without asking for anything. You'll find me smiling like no time has passed, because some bonds don't fade with distance. Some promises outlive the years, and you'll always be welcome here. The night grows quiet, the stars hang low, and the porch light shines. just in case you come home.
En la orilla del tiempo encontré una botella con palabras que el mar se negó a olvidar. Dentro había un verano dormido y dos sombras aprendiendo a volar. La luna colgaba sobre el puerto viejo como una lámpara encendida para los que ya no están. Y el viento llevaba nombres antiguos que solo los corazones rotos pueden escuchar. Hay trenes que parten de la estación, pero nunca abandonan nuestra memoria. Tú fuiste el faro en medio de mi niebla, la última estrella cuando el cielo se rindió. Y aunque la marea robó nuestros caminos, tu luz siguió viviendo donde el sol terminó. Porque algunos amores son como los océanos, parecen alejarse, pero siempre regresan, convertidos en canción. Vi caer la última hoja del otoño, girando despacio como una oración. Parecía saber que toda belleza verdadera nace justamente antes de la despedida. Los pájaros cruzaban horizontes imposibles, dibujando cartas invisibles sobre el azul. Y comprendí que las almas que se encuentran jamás se separan del todo. Solo aprenden otro idioma para seguir hablándose. Hay jardines que mueren en invierno para regresar más fuertes bajo otra luz. La última estrella cuando el cielo se rindió. Y aunque la marea robó nuestros caminos, tu luz siguió viviendo donde el sol terminó. Porque algunos amores son como los océanos, parecen alejarse, pero siempre regresan, convertidos en canción. Ahora camino por una ciudad de ventanas apagadas. Cada edificio guarda una historia, cada historia guarda una ausencia, y cada ausencia es una puerta que todavía recuerda una mano. A veces pienso que la eternidad no es un lugar, es simplemente aquello que seguimos amando. Cuando ya
no podemos tocarlo. Tú fuiste el faro que desafió la tormenta, el fuego pequeño que venció la oscuridad, la brújula secreta de mis inviernos, la voz que aún escucha mi soledad. Y cuando mi barco encuentre el último puerto, cuando el horizonte deje de existir, seguiré tu luz entre las estrellas, como quien vuelve a casa después de toda una vida. Porque las olas borran las huellas, el tiempo borra los nombres, pero jamás puede borrar la luz de aquello que una vez nos enseñó a amar.
Tonight the rain is speaking through the old window again. I found your picture inside a book we never finished reading. The coffee stains are still there, like little memories refusing to leave. The house is quiet now, except for the clock on the wall, counting every year since the day you stopped calling. I told myself that time would make it easier, but some wounds learn how to live forever. So I'm writing the last letter I'll never send, to the woman who taught my heart how to break and love again. If these words never find their way to you, at least tonight they know the truth. I still whisper your name when nobody's around, and every road I've taken still leads back somehow. The garden we planted blooms every spring without asking, as if the roses never learned that you're no longer here. I tried moving on like everybody told me to, but some loves become shadows that walk beside you, and every sunset paints your face across the sky. 1,000 goodbyes still couldn't teach me why. So I'm writing the last letter I'll never send, to the woman who taught my heart how to break and love again. If these words never find their way to you, at least tonight they know the truth. I still whisper your name when nobody's around, and every road I've taken still leads back somehow. Maybe somewhere you're listening to the same rain. Maybe somewhere you remember my name. And if another life
is waiting beyond these years. I'll find you there through all my fears. So I'm writing the last letter I'll never send, to the love that stayed with me long after the story ended. Every dream, every song, every lonely midnight blue, the world kept turning, but part of me stayed with you. The candle's burning low, the night is almost gone, and this old heart still sings your song. Still sings your song.